Breakfast with KXVU.
Trickstar Radio.
Right then, 13 minutes past 9 here on Trickstar Radio. We're live inside with man like Shilangu. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Very good.
Thank you for making the trip, man. I know it's a bit of a trek in the morning. So I know it's not a super long trek, but it's a little bit of a trek.
Bad, actually. I mean, when I was driving up here, it was very empty, so it was a nice, swift drive.
Nice.
I used my cruise control, just make life easier.
So yeah, obviously, we're kind of talking here about you kind of coming back into grime. Now, something that I've noticed immediately about yourself is this immediate level of, not even necessarily professionalism, but this level of like activity and like this kind of like ability to just be available on so many different platforms, you know what I mean, and just constantly posting about everything. How important do you think that kind of level of online enthusiasm is?
It's key. I mean, if you take a DJ that's got amazing talents and everything, and you've never heard of him because they haven't really been telling people what they're doing, it's no point of doing what you're doing. I mean, well, it's the classic line of like, oh, I don't really want to post about content
it.
Is key.
Content is key. Content is key. And I think that the best way to kind of put this on like a basic level is the idea of, if you aren't posting about it, how are people going to find it?
Exactly. You need to put enthusiasm in what you're doing to make people have the same, or a bit of the same enthusiasm as well.
That's again, it's this idea, like if you don't look enthusiastic about it, why would other people look enthusiastic about it? Now, obviously, you're how many times a day would you say you post on socials in regards to like across?
I try Instagram every day. If I haven't got to content, maybe every other day or something. I do want my page to constantly be fresh and up to date with things, or just what I'm doing, or where I'm going to be playing or mixing or whatever. But yeah, you have to have some sort of level of professionalism in this game, whether it's grime, whether it's garage, whether it's anything.
Yeah. How coming like back into the scene, how did you kind of find like the general levels of professionalism when you kind of?
When I sort of fell out of love with grime and I had to sort of sort my mental health, I took a bit of a break from listening to anything like that, and but when I started to listen back to grime and garage, I sort of saw Radar, and I saw others like other just DJs that were coming up with me, like Argue, for example. Me and Argue, I was bringing him on my shows and stuff. So then when I saw where he was, and I thought, damn, what's the like what if?
Yeah, of course.
And I had that what if, and that what if just was the fuel to the fire, and then slowly got back into it. Luckily, JB gave me a slot on mode, and this thing's kicked off from there. I kind of felt like I had to play catch up.
Yeah, of course. But like, do you feel people post? For instance, a basic question here: do you feel people post enough? Do you feel people promote themselves enough within grime specifically?
I feel now when people use distributors now, I find is amazing, because back then people didn't know what distributor was.
Yeah.
Now they do. Now they have dates where stuff is released and everyone has it, and streaming, I think, is amazing for the scene. It's amazing for the scene because people can now get paid, whether it's little money or it's something.
Which is a lot more than it kind of was before.
It's another platform for people to have eyes on you.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. I just feel, of course, there's improvements that can be made. So yeah.
I think as well, more than anything, I think the idea of streaming is just the idea of ease.
Yes.
More than anything else, you don't have to go do. You can just go.
You don't have to ram up your phone with like loads of tunes.
Yeah. And you don't have to go home and.
I still do that.
You know what? I still do it, but you know what I do it for? I do it for like not even podcasts, but I do it for like stand-up comedy and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's what my phone's like full of. Is just full
I'm a comedy.
Who's your favourite comedian?
Dave Chappelle.
He's
got a bit of heat, baby.
Yeah. He's got a new special out, hasn't he? I haven't seen it yet.
Sticks and Stones.
His last three have all been quite like.
You know what? It's so easy for him.
Yeah.
He's just. I think for me, he's the best.
Yeah, he definitely has the kind of natural.
I also love Joe Rogan and Chris D'Elia and Brendan Sharp, Brian Callen. Just those kind of comedy shows, like Fighting the Kid and stuff like that. I love them kind of stuff.
Right, I'm going to jump back to radio quickly here.
Sure.
So I like to ask this kind of question. What's the kind of craziest radio scenario you've been in?
Craziest,
like one where you're like, wow. You look back and go, wow.
You know what? I've got one. I went to Axfirm South, and I was going to a slot on DJ Scope's set.
Okay, cool.
I walked into the room, and there's Doc Rotten in that room, there's Root Kid in that room, there's Stormin in that room, and then there's other people as well, like Brutal and all these guys in this room. And this is me going to the Axe for the second time ever, and I'm surrounded by all these great.
Like you look at these now, and these are legends.
I sat down thinking that I did not deserve to be in this room, and for me, that was the craziest for me.
Like just being on such like a high caliber thing, and people forget this about. One of the things that I think made a lot of people fall in love with radio is the fact you could have all these people in one place.
Oh my lord! I mean, the fact I can contact these people. Back in the day, I was talking to my mum about this. Back in the day, MSN was like a phone number. Unless you knew the person, you wouldn't have that person's MSN. Now, there's you could just contact anyone you want, and all of a sudden they could respond to you or not, or they don't have to. And you can just connect with these people now.
And I
find Twitter and Instagram is made the scene better because people from nowhere can actually become someone if they have talent.
And if they push themselves in the right way. Again, it comes back to the idea of post because then people will see.
Waking Up Brighton.
Breakfast with KXVU.